Welcome everyone. I'm very happy to present today about online peer support for people with young onset dementia. And I'm presenting as part of the Dem Comm network, which Ori, Neil and I are all three part of. So as we have heard today already, young onset dementia is when the onset of symptoms starts before the age of 65. And there are currently over 70,000 people in the UK living with young onset dementia, but it's actually expected that this is an underrepresentation due to difficulties in timely diagnosis. Also, rare forms of dementia are relatively more common among younger people, so people are more likely to experience a range of non-cognitive symptoms. So it's not always the typical memory loss, but also difficulties in speech and language and vision can present more often among younger people. Due to their age, younger people are more likely to still be in work, in paid work, when the symptoms start, but also when they get their diagnosis. And people are often forced to take retirement early, stop working, as Peter mentioned. Many people are taught to stop doing many activities. But also people might have relatively young families, people might have financial or caring responsibilities, maybe to dependent children or to older parents. So this is just to highlight the unique impact that dementia at a younger age can have. So going through all these changes and difficulties, people with young onset dementia that I've worked with in qualitative work, but also as co-researchers have said that peer support is an absolute lifeline. People can go through experiences of big changes in their personal lives. They might experience losses, but peer support can offer people friendship, that mutual understanding, that sometimes words are not even needed to create that sense of understanding, but also the exchange of information, of hints and tips, of resources. And it offers people opportunities to stay active and engaged. But the most important thing is that shared lived experience. And in that way, peer support is fundamentally different from any kind of support that we can give as researchers, as healthcare professionals, or as community workers. Unfortunately, access to peer support services can feel like a postcode lottery. The availability of age-appropriate peer support groups varies widely across the UK. But also, in-person groups might not be accessible for everyone. Some people might experience sensory overload when they're in a new place or in a group of people. Some people are unable to travel or they live alone and they're unable to travel. So it's not always accessible to people. And as a result, some people might miss out on peer support opportunities because of this. But we found that there was limited research into online options which could actually offer a solution for people who can't access these in-person support services. So we conducted a lot of qualitative work around whether online peer support could be helpful for people with young onset dementia. And we found that actually the benefits of peer support that I just mentioned are also present online and also in different formats of online support. For example, they were present in video meeting groups through Zoom, but also on discussion forums and social media platforms. People can experience that shared experience, that mutual understanding, exchanging information as well. But there's also additional benefits because it allowed people to take part from the comfort of their own home. They were able to, for example, mute themselves or turn off their camera when they wanted. They could read messages when they had the time. And also, because of this wide variety of platforms and mode of communication, people could actually choose something that suited their needs, their abilities, and their preferences as well. However, we also found some room for directions for future research, some room for improvement. And one of the things we found was that signposting to online peer support was actually very poor. We found that we did a survey and of the people who indicated they were not using online peer support, the main reason was because they didn't know that this existed or where to find more information, but they were open to trying this. And only a small group were signposted by their doctor or another healthcare professional. Another thing that we need to consider is digital exclusion. There's a bit of a pitfall to think that online is sort of the default alternative for people who struggle to access in-person services, but things like poor or unstable internet connection or limited financial resources to purchase the devices or stable internet is still an important barrier. And we need to gather more diverse evidence as well, because we mainly relied on qualitative research, but we need to collect more quantitative evidence. So I just want to say, if anyone is interested in these topics as well, please come and find me and speak to me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.